you know, Ray and Burner are like brothers. So he started bringing me around and started talking about me to Burner and gave Burner that it put his guard down. You feel me? So with that, I was going everywhere to every cookie functions, everything. Went on tour with Burn, everything. You know what I'm saying? And we was a Cookie Boys. We started our own little group type shit. It was me, Ski Mask, Nero, and Holly. You feel me? Guy Holly. So we was running around on road with him, and we was the Cookie Boys. They already had the Cookie Fam. You feel me? And the Cookie Fam was fucking like them growing, you know, all the growers and all these people that was been at the table for a while. We went with Cookie Boys because Jack used to always say, man, you a boy. And that meant like you a king, you feel what I'm saying? Like you the nig, you know what I'm saying? So we ran with the Cookie Boys and we was just a street marketing team, you know? And everywhere we went, literally, you feel me? And even Germ Jilla, my brother Germ T. Kill, he was part of the Cookie Boys, you feel me? We were running around crazy. We would always go to the warehouse and get the merch, get the cookie like boxes of this shit, and we would be wearing this shit and hitting the road. And we would just be presenting this shit, and then we were selling weed too.
And they're paying you to do all the street promo type stuff, or
we
just doing it for the love?
We did this shit on GP.
Really?
Swear to God, because he gave us clothes, and we was just like, fuck rocking all this designer shit. Let's rock bro shit. You feel me? So it didn't click to me what was going on. You know what I'm saying? It was just more of us just doing it. You know, cause Germ is for sure one of the dudes too that opened my eyes as far as the network. Cause Germ was around Mac Miller, Wiz Khalifa, like he was around the industry early on, Schoolboy Q, but he just didn't have product as far as even like his own product, you know what I'm saying? So we would go to all these shows and everything with Germ and all this shit, and he would just open my eyes to like, how the fuck is this nigga in the room with these dudes? You know what I'm saying? And he had weed. You feel me? So Germ was literally one of the dudes that really like sparked it, like, oh, okay, and then boom, we around Burner, you know? And then when we was around Burner, we was on tour. Germ didn't go on tour with us, you know what I'm saying? So that opened up the door as far as for like Nero and a lot of other people that was coming, being at the table, you know? And when we was on the road, the first 2 tours, Ray Bama called me, was like, bruh, I got a strain for us. We could do the same shit what you doing for cookies and shit like that. We could do this shit for our own shit. And I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck, bro. Just come with the good weed. I'm gonna sell this shit. You know what I mean?
Because I mean, I feel like when I'm hearing this, it sounds like it was only a matter of time you being around all these entrepreneurs and all these people who are building brands before you were just like, man, I gotta be able to,
for sure.
I gotta start building my own shit.
Not even like, you know, like disrespect to even Burn or Cookie or nothing, but just like you said, nobody paid us. You feel me? We ran around doing all this brand promotion and awareness, because when we was on tour with Playboy Cardi, I was the opening act. I wasn't just, like, on the road with him. I was like, bro, I'll go on tour if you give me a 5-minute slot. You feel me? And he was like, shit, it's good. So I opened up every tour on Cardi. So with that, I was running around with cookie clothes. I was getting the crowd control on some like, when I say cookies, y'all say boys, Cookie Boys. You feel me? So we represented cookies. But I didn't get a check from it. You know?
What year are we talking that you were on tour with Cardi?
2000, what was it, 17 there?
17, like when he first started popping off? Yeah,
17, because I met Cardi when he was opening up for the ASAP Ferg tour. When Cardi just cracked off, he was opening up for ASAP Ferg. And everybody will be coming to the Bay Area to look for weed. They would think about Burner. They can't get the Burner.
Because 2017, I went on tour with Lil Pump, and I remember on that tour, that song came out that was like, woke up to looking like me.
Exactly.
Crazy.
That right there, though.
Like overnight, that was the only song that anybody wanted to hear for a while.
I swear to God, bro. And that right there, like, I didn't even know who the fuck Playboy Cardi was. But then when we went on tour, this fucking crowd and all, I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? You know what I'm saying? And then we seen that he was with like Ian Connor, you know what I'm saying? ASAP was stamping him and shit. I'm like, man, we on the road, fuck it. You know? And that built me being around, because when I opened up for Playboy Cardi, Gunna was opening up, Pierre Bourne was opening up, and Nudie was opening up. So it would be me, Pierre Bourne, Gunna, Nudie, then Cardi.
You had no idea what greatness was about to be there, man.
But they didn't even know what greatness was there. You feel me? Like
Gunna in 2017 is pretty fucking early right there.
Bro, I'm G.O.D. Nudie was bigger than Gunna. Nudie was bigger than Gunna at that time.
Definitely, yeah.
So, like, when we was on the road, that shit was just, it opened my eyes to, like, networking and shit like that.
Because
you know what I'm saying?
that's the thing that I feel like you're a god at, that you're like crazy good at, is just understanding the value of being around people and utilizing that to your advantage. But there's something very real about how you get around people, because a lot of people, once you're in a position with some kind of clout or power, you get so jaded to people trying to run up on you, trying to talk to you about their business, trying to give you some weed, whatever.
Sure.
It can get so hard to get through to somebody that you have to be like a really fucking cool, genuine person to get people to accept you in that way.
For sure. And then not even that, it's not even just like you said, I didn't give a fuck about acceptance. You feel me? Like, we came in as far as we were so confident at what we had, product wise, that it was gonna stand on itself. And then I just been around so long, I just say, fuck it, we activating it. We having our own merch. We doing our own shit. We wearing our shit, bro. I seen Burner. I seen Cookies. I seen this shit, bro. I was on the road.
Right.
It makes no sense for us not to do our own shit and print this shit and get on the road, bro.
Right.
You know? But I've been around merchandise and printing up shirts and shit my whole life. I used to be signed to Keep It Lit Records. You know, that was a Tongan record label. You know what I'm saying? So,
out of Long Beach or out of the Bay?
It wasn't out the Bay, but it was out of Sacramento, actually.
Oh, okay.
You know, long live King Lil Bo. That was my cousin. You feel me? And he believed in me. He came and grabbed me from LA, and literally we started a record label called Keep It Lit Records.
Wow.
And we went on tour. We went on I think it was like 24 cities, and we sold out 22 in the island community, from Hawaii, Utah, all this shit. And we was on a tour with the tour bus. I mean, not a tour bus, with a Sprinter. Printing up our own Keep It Lit records, everything. You know, we had our own screen printing, everything. I had everything at a warehouse. We had our own studio. So it just opened my eyes early on how to be independent. You know what I'm saying? So when I came to the Bay Area fully, I was back and forth from Sacramento to the Bay in LA. So when I fully came back to the Bay Area and was fucking around, I already understood branding, you know what I'm saying? But I just didn't take it to the max, because I was always wearing my own clothes. I was doing Keep It Lit Records, 25/8. I was already printing my own shit, you know what I'm saying? So when it got to being around Cookies, I was like, fuck, all right, let me mix and match. Let me wear a Keep It Lit hat with Cookie, all this shit. And then I'm like, fuck it, I'm all the way full throttle with Cookies, you know? And that just gave me the lane, like, all right, fuck it, I see what we got going on.
So when you started doing your own strain, though, did you feel like you were fully separating from Cookies, or did you stay kind of doing both?
Nah, we was doing both, because I'm loyal. It wasn't like we was going to do, like, we about to be, oh, hell no, fuck Burner, fuck Cookies. No, like, shit, let's just start this so we could get a check, because we wasn't getting a check from Cookies.
Were you having that conversation with them, though?
As far as getting the check from them?
Hey, I could just get paid by you, and then I wouldn't go do my own strain. I'll just be 100% focused.
It wasn't no, like, solid conversation, because it wasn't me and Burner as far as being, like, you know, we weren't the super bro. It was him and Ray. You know, so him and Ray will be talking, and Ray will come back and give me information on what was going on. You feel me? And then me and Burn got a cool relationship, and we started texting each other, you know, and we started, you know, rocking. But as far as starting our own shit, it wasn't no, like, all right, hell no, like, fuck them. You feel me? It was more like, shit, we need some money, bro. What we doing?
So this is Runtz when you leave Cookies and start your new thing.
We started Runtz.
And who's involved from the beginning? Like, what's the whole arrangement look like, and who do you have to get involved with to get the product and everything?
At the beginning or now?
In the beginning, yeah. Like, what did the business look like?
It was me. It was me, Ray, and Nick. Nick was the grower.
Right.
You feel me? So Nick never even knew nothing about Runtz. They called it a different name.
Okay.
And Ray was like, yo, I got this strain that's fire as fuck. I think we should brand this, you know? So we went up there to Oakland and literally went to his house, the grower's house. But it wasn't even his house. It was his cousin. Shout out to Nick and Miles. For real. Like, this is the real story.
Okay.
You feel me? We drove up there to Oakland to Miles' house, and he brought out the pounds. You feel me? And it was like, what the fuck is this?
You knew it was special?
It was different. It was like a sour diesel fluff shit, but it was purple, you know? And it had a sweet, like, smell and everything to it. I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro?
Right.
And they called it, like, they were trying to call it, like, a purple Skittles, and then, but the name that we got was 1BR, because they were selling it on a 100-block radius in Oakland. You feel me? And shout out to Cool John. Cool John was the first one to even had this shit before, like, during the same time. And he called it a different name, and we called it a different name. But we were so confident in it, we even went to Cool John's house, because he started posting it and calling it something different. I'm like, bro, we're standing behind this shit. We're going to call this shit Runtz. And you feel me? He was like, shit, if this is what y'all gonna push, all right, you feel me? Go ahead. But you're like, why Runtz? You feel me? Like, nigga, because it tastes like candy. You feel me? You don't know what candy you getting out of the Runtz bag.
Right.
Lemon, banana, cherry, strawberry. So it was the same shit. Like, you didn't know what you was tasting, but it was candy.
Hey, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe. We just hit 200K. We're trying to get to 300K.
Turn us up.
Appreciate y'all.
Let's go.